Hello everyone, welcome to Infinite Journeys. Subscribe and click the bell button now. Everything is connected for a reason. So relax and enjoy the experiences.
Once upon a time, in a lush jungle, there lived a family of mice. One fine evening, they were celebrating their father's birthday. That evening was their last celebration together. The parents were loving and caring towards their little ones, always advising them on what to do and what not to do. However, their youngest son, named Joe, a mouse, felt suffocated by their constant advice. He wanted to explore the world on his own and make his own plans and decisions. One day, the family went on a trip to explore the jungle. They were having a good time, playing and laughing, when suddenly they heard a loud. It was a lion. The family quickly ran in different directions to save themselves. The little white mouse got separated from his family and couldn't find them anywhere. Feeling lost and alone, Joe started wandering in the jungle, hoping to find his family. As he was walking, he came across a group of monkeys who were playing and swinging from tree to tree. They welcomed Joe and asked him what he was doing alone in the jungle. Joe explained his situation to the monkeys, and they sympathized with him. One of the monkeys, a wise old sage, advised Joe to stay with them until he found his family. He also told Joe that it's important to make friends and learn from different animals in the jungle. Joe thanked the monkeys and decided to stay with them for a while. Days passed, and Joe learned a lot from the monkeys. He learned how to grab and hold the monkey from the back while they climbed trees and swing from branch to branch. He also learned how to find food and make a shelter for his side. His clothes were torn, and the monkeys advised to remove them so that he will blend in with the other animals. Joe agreed. However, he couldn't forget about his family and decided to leave the monkeys to continue his search. As Joe was walking, he came across a group of elephants. They were the biggest animals in the jungle, and he was afraid of them. However, the elephants were kind and gentle, and they welcomed him. They also told him how they missed their parents. Some of them lost their parents, and others had learned how to survive on their own. Joe realized that he wasn't the only one who had lost his family. He felt a sense of empathy towards the elephants and decided to stay with them for a while. He learned how to find water and how to communicate with other animals using different sounds. He also learned how to be brave, and that helped him face his fears. Weeks turned into months, and Joe, the little mouse, still couldn't find his family. He began to lose hope and on the verge of surrender as he accepted his faith. However, his heart didn't allow him to give up. He knew that his family was out there somewhere and he had to find them. One day while he was walking, he came across a group of zebras. They were grazing peacefully, and Joe decided to approach them. He told them his story, and the zebras listened with empathy. They also shared their own struggles of living without parents. Joe realized that every animal in the jungle had their own struggles, and he felt grateful for the time he had spent with the monkeys, elephants, and zebras. He learned that it's important to be independent, but it's also important to have good friends and family to rely on. He valued his family even more. Every day and night, Joe family also kept praying for his return and wanted him to be safe in the wilds. Joe was filled in their hearts and souls. Finally, after weeks of searching, the little mouse found his home. With tears of joy, his family welcomed him back with open arms. The little mouse realized how much he had missed his parents and how important they were in his life. He then revealed to his family, with his tremendous fear shown in his eyes, how he had managed to survive in the forest. From that day on, Joe valued his family. He was also thankful to all his new friends in the jungle for teaching, guiding, and sharing their experiences. He had no doubt they were the key for him to reach home. Joe felt surviving in the wild is necessary, so Joe taught other mice and animals the ways to survive in a forest. Joe lived happily, knowing the real biggest gift he had was the love of his loved ones and continuous support given by his friends. Joe stood his head high and shouted,
"I survived!"
While Key and Martha are on their way to the next adventure, stay tuned for more stories shared by friends from other planets. Signing off, Earthy.
Thank you, Earthy, for the finishing. Thank you so much to my dear viewers and for your great support. To understand the link, watch our stories from the beginning. Do subscribe and click the bell button for more coming up stories. Signing off, Key with Martha.